Jesus Christ. Wait, how did I find this before? DRM. Wait, no. I feel like there was a decent. What was that channel I was on? Six watching. Let's go. Probably change this to.
Some folks pay cash.
Okay, I feel like that's probably not DRM free. Okay, let's see. What was the how did I have this working before? All right, was it like that maybe? I feel like I had this set up before and it was working a lot better. What? What do I need to do? I need to do some stuff. Right? I should probably figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Boo doo boo boo boo. Dude, I feel like, oh, what was that fucking station I found yesterday or the other day? It was so good. Stream music. Free. Alright, fuck it. Yeah, free. No. God damn it. Is it this? Fuck it. Whatever this is better work. here. I gotta go here. Oh wait. Okay, so if I go here and I go here, and I go, and I go here, I go here. There we go. Okay, great. Let's see that. I need to do this, and then I click. They don't make this easy, I swear to God. Okay. I wonder how much ball gargling Joe's gonna. He's gonna do a lot of ball gargling. Unfortunately, I promise you that. I did watch a little bit of it. Not all of it, but. God, where's this link? How do I find this? Share. Copy link. Jesus Christ. How you doing, Mark? How's your day been? Where am I going? I'm going. Here? Yeah, here. Wait, that's loud. Do YouTube links or do web browser links still fuck up your Twitch search results? I know it was for a minute. Where's this shit? Giga fucking loud for anybody else? That's all better. Because I feel like in the past, if you had a YouTube link or if you put any web link in a tweet, it would like deprioritize it. So I never understand if I'm sharing like, hey, I'm going live. Do I put it in or not? I had a pretty chill day. How about you? I had a chill day too. It was just fucking hot as shit where I live. So that sucked. Oh, do links hurt your tweet reach? Let's see. This is gonna be, yes. Sweet. Fucking gay ass Twitter, I swear to God. Alright. Do this. Do that. Go here. Tad hard to hear with me. Okay, thank you. I am still trying to figure out the balance of everything. I appreciate it. Here, real quick, I'm gonna continue the music so you don't have to, so you can listen to something. Use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. All right, this music fucking sucks. Oh, I think what people do is they say they're going live, then reply. Yeah, that's what I actually just did. I think that's probably the best bet, because I do think that it does fuck up YouTube views, or not YouTube views, Twitter reach. But what are you gonna do? Okay, I'm just gonna get going on this because it's late anyway, and why not? Give me to check one thing real quick. I wish I could find that other channel again.
I know this is sudden,
The
but
fuck is
here's
going
some
on?
trivia for you, as you seem to have finished your class.
Okay.
The name rum and cola
So
is actually a
do
nickname.
this.
Do you know the real name of this
This.
drink? It's called the Cuba Libre. The rum called for in this drink represents Cuba. This is a cocktail which mixed the national specialties of Cuba and the United States as a celebration of Cuba's independence. Cuba Libre means free Cuba. It tastes differently when you know the history. And that was the cocktail trivia for
Okay,
tonight.
let's see. Alright, so watched a little bit of this video earlier today, and it was very infuriating. It is amazing how first and foremost how JRE has somehow turned into the official podcast of the United States government. That's kind of cool. How, like, anytime a member of the Trump administration needs to kind of do any kind of like character rehabilitation or any kind of good, need to go on a good press tour, they're going on the Joe Rogan Experience, which is pretty crazy that that's what this fucking podcast turned into. A place for the Trump admin, again, to just come on and get a message out there and get a unified... Holy shit. Got that from the VOD. A unifying message out there. So let's just go through this. What I wanted to do, what I was hoping I could do, is go through most of this video. Probably not going to go through all of it just because some of it's boring as shit and they talk about like demons and ghosts and stuff and who gives a fuck. But I kind of just wanted to go over and just kind of fact check some of the claims that are made, especially in like the first 30, 45 minutes of this video, because they're just, it's actually just insane because, like, I don't know. Let's just go through it because that's going to be the best way. It's the best way to do it. Good luck with
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
So the last time we talked, last time I saw you, we were at a cage fight at the White House.
That's right.
That's
One of the craziest experiences of my life. It must have been one of the craziest.
Bro, how long have I been fucking muted for? I'm gonna kill myself, bro. I'm gonna kill myself. Thanks, Mark. Bro, I feel like, have I been muted this whole time? What the fuck?
Craziest experiences of your life.
oh yeah, it took me like 2 weeks afterwards to recover, just to like go, did that actually happen? It seems so insane.
Okay, the most insane part of it, which I guess
Sorry.
was before you got there, to me at least, is like you come into work every day in the White House, right? You know.
Only since the start of the vid, so I didn't hear what you said last. Other than that, yeah, I was just saying. What did I say? Oh, the one thing I mentioned was at the beginning of this vid. Hold on.
I saw you.
Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
So the last time we talked, last time I saw you, we were at a cage fight at the White House.
That's right.
So it's interesting that Joe said that. He originally said, last time we talked, wait, no, the last time I saw you. Are they in that much communication where they're talking all the time? Like, that makes no sense to me. I don't understand how the fucking vice president of the United States is like on a weekly conversation with Joe Rogan, the fucking podcaster. Why? Are they just trying to get messaging like lined up between the White House and one of the like the largest media personalities in the entire country? That's kind of fucking weird. And again, like that's the first 10 seconds of this fucking podcast, and it's just whatever. Who gives a shit, dude? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has Trump's number. He's mentioned how he talks to Trump in the past. Like, again, 18 seconds in, let's fucking go.
That's
one of the craziest experiences of my life. It must have been one of the craziest experiences of your life.
Oh yeah, it took me like 2 weeks afterwards to recover, just to like go, did that actually happen? It seems so insane.
Okay, the most insane part of it, which I guess was before you got there, to me at least, is like you come into work every day in the White House, right?
And here we got JD trying to appear like a fucking human being. Good luck.
I have an office in the West Wing. There's the Oval Office in the West Wing, and you look out the window, and as this like 8-story complex was growing up, it was just the most unbelievable thing. It's like the South Lawn of the White House, but you've got the 8th wonder of the world being built up around.
The 8th wonder of the world, a fucking UFC cage that they built on the South Lawn of the White House. That's the 8th wonder of the world to this fucking guy. It just sucks because of the Trump, like the cult of personality around Trump. Everything has to be the greatest, the best, the 8th wonder of the world, even if it's like literally just a fucking cage match stage. Like, what was it? There was a and I'm liking Ossoff more and more the more that he's talking, because there was the post I saw, I think it was on Destiny subreddit, about Ossoff just talking to who was it? Trump's
no.
Let's listen to this. Like, this is what every member of the media, what every Democrat should be doing, like, from this point forward. It's just like calling these people out for the bottoms that they are when it comes to Trump and the Republicans. Like, these people have no fucking spine. They have no self-respect. They're willing to lie and embarrass themselves in front of people, in front of the whole world, just to please Daddy Trump, just to make sure that there's nothing crazy being said. It just makes no sense how, like, these strong men, or like just these fucking, I don't know how they live with themselves, because I don't think I could do that every single day. Just like go to work and just like suck the dick of my boss so blatantly, and like just being forced to say things I don't believe, or things that are just so fucking obviously wrong that anybody who's paying attention can see.
Yes or no? Did the President of the United States pardon a convicted narco trafficker?
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
I'm not going to do this with you.
This is a job interview.
Keep doing that. And by do this with you, he means answering a simple question about who won the 2020 election. Just a reminder.
We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee. Yes, you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee?
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
But you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Is anything that I just said not honest or forthright?
Yes, you're not being honest or forthright. Who won the 2020 election?
I think I've answered the question.
Thank you. Awesome. Just keep repeating the fucking question. No, you're not being honest and forthright because you're not answering the question. You're trying to be fucking cute like you're 4th grade and you want more cookies. Like, it.
We can keep doing this.
Yeah, they can keep doing this because it's all a fucking game to all these people.
Well, we're going to keep doing it because you're not being honest and forthright.
I'm not going to engage in the theater.
It's a simple question, Mr. Clayton.
Who's performing theater? The person asking questions or the person dancing around them?
And I've answered
Who
it.
won the 2020 presidential election?
I've answered it.
You're here asking for the support of senators to lead America's intelligence community. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with this committee and with the American public, but you refuse to answer a simple matter of fact about the 2020 election. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Then answer the question. Who won the
I have
2020 election?
I have answered the question.
Answer it. What is your answer?
I've given you my answer.
What is your answer? You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election,
No,
but you asked to lead America's intelligence community? Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question?
That
to
right there.
have to indulge the president's delusions?
That right there, that is what needs to be hammered 24/7, 365 from now until the midterms and after the midterms. Aren't you embarrassed that you have to cater to the psychotic whims of an 80-year-old narcissist? And then, okay, yeah, you were like, what's worse, knowing that you're lying or genuinely believing it? I feel like the knowing is 100,000% worse. You're right. It's the people like Candace Owens, for example, who are obviously fucking grifting. They're the worst. They're the absolute worst of them. The people who believe them, who actually genuinely believe, like, I think a lot of the fans of these people genuinely believe and honestly believe. I have a hard time coming up, or I have a hard time believing that people can be as successful as they are and get to like these top levels in media and entertainment and be able to believe some of this. Now, I can imagine if they were like skeptical or weird about one specific thing, but to be this retarded on so many different things, it has to be intentional. Do you think Trump tells them that they need to do this, or they figure it out on their own? They know it's probably not Trump saying it directly, but there is a top-down like dissemination of ideas and talking points and facts that I do believe that they all go through. It's the only thing that makes sense, because like this many grown adults can't believe in this crazy or this dumb of a concept. I can't live life. I can't continue to move on believing that people are that stupid. It's easier for me to move on thinking that people are that dishonest, because like if people are that stupid, we're fucked and we might as well just give up.
We know, you know, everybody in this room knows the truthful answer to that question. Why can you not give it?
I think I gave you the answer.
It's because they're in a cult. It's because they're in a cult.
And every day I'd look at it and be like, it would take me a couple seconds to be like, what the hell is going on? And I'd be like, oh yeah, it's UFC. It's UFC coming in a couple weeks.
The whole thing was surreal.
Yeah.
First of all, it was crazy that the weather just went around us. Like
That's
there
right.
was a real moment where the fights would have been postponed until 10:30 p.m. to start.
Correct.
And last minute, the storm just diverted.
That's right. Well, and you know, this book that I have that I guess we'll talk about a little bit, but the book tour started the next day. So I was flying to New York the next day to talk about it. And all I could think about is every time we got the update from White House weather, oh, it might not start until 10:30. I was thinking to myself, well, holy shit, that means I'm going to go to bed at like 4 a.m. I'm going to look like a total crazy person when I'm trying to go talk about.
This dude has so much fucking free time. He's going to UFC fights, flying to New York and selling fucking books.
Go talk about
I
this
wanna be the
book,
vice
but
president.
yeah,
Sounds easy as
amazingly
hell.
it did work out. Honestly, it actually helped a little bit because, as you know, it was hot as hell out there, and
Yeah.
it was super humid. You know, mid-June in DC, and I think the weather actually helped cool it down a little bit because by about 10 o'clock or so, I was not thinking it's hot as hell out here anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Oh, holy shit. By 10 o'clock, by nighttime, it wasn't as hot. What the fuck?
But I talked to Justin Gaethje about it, and he said it was a problem when he was fighting. He said the air was very thick.
Okay.
Like right after the first round, he was like,
Yeah.
boy, like this is rough because that hot, humid air, and
Yeah.
you know, it's
No, it's
fine walking around.
It's I mean, it's okay walking around. It still feels it is a swamp, right? That's why
Yeah.
people call it the swamp. So you know, that's obviously June 14th. That's the
That's
president's.
not why they call it the swamp.
That's one of the reasons why they call it the swamp.
They call
Actually, it fucking is, Joe. You're just too fucking stupid to understand anything about history, but whatever.
the swamp
They call it swamp because of my colleagues too.
because it's filled with mud and water. And
The colleagues that they seem to can't get rid of after 6 years of being in power. Huh? You think after you know, your second time in, you'd figure out how to drain the swamp.
Gunk and shit and swamp monsters.
Oh man! So that's June 14th. So that's the president's birthday.
Right,
It's also that was my 12th wedding anniversary.
It probably is unfortunately, it probably is going to be the best comeback or the best pushback he has in this entire fucking video.
Oh wow!
And my wife. So that's the one thing. Like if somebody runs in here, it's because my wife's going into labor because she's like 39 weeks pregnant. But I remember we go out to dinner like right before the UFC fight, and we're of course checking the weather report to figure out what's going on. And you know, my wife normally likes to come to the cool stuff of being vice president. That was the one where she was like, "It's hot. I'm super pregnant, and I'm not going to sit out there for 6 hours." So
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Also, it was just there was so much chaos, and the potential for real chaos was always there. First of all, you have the Ellipse. So the Ellipse has what 85,000 people outside.
Correct. That's right.
And for people that are watching at home, like we could hear them.
Yes.
Like when the fights, when something would happen.
in like kind of a delayed way.
85,000 people in the eclipse. Let's see, UFC White House fight aerial photograph. Was there any? How many people at White House for UFC fight? With 85,000 at the Eclipse viewing area. Dana White confirms UFC White House attendance numbers and military involvement. He said 85K were in the Ellipse watching, not necessarily at the fight itself. So I'm curious where that came from. The fight card titled UFC Freedom 250 also coincides with Abe's birthday as president. Blah, blah, 5 weeks away. Blah blah. I just literally went over there right now. 4,300 people, and most of them will be military. 100%. It's a thank you to the military. Blah blah. If you're a fan of the UFC, and especially if you've never been to watch it, we're going to give away 85,000 tickets. Okay, so there's 85,000 tickets. There's no fucking way there was that many people there. Okay, how do we figure this out? Because I do want to know. There's that number again, 85,000. The only thing I can see so far is that Dana White said, if you're a fan of the UFC, and especially if you've never been to Washington, D.C., we're going to give away about 85,000 tickets. There's a process. You have to register for tickets, and they're free, but you should come to D.C. that week. You're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. I bet I'm going to be able to find zero evidence that there was 85,000 people here. Let's see. How many crowd photos do we have of the event? I'm not sure. That's what I was looking for first. UFC Freedom 250 photographs. Okay. What the fuck is this? Dude, all the faux gold everywhere. It's so fucking tacky. Excuse me. Okay. Fucking Nikes in the White House. Classless. Bro, they're in the Oval Office. It's so fucking cringe. Jesus Christ. Fucking make a mockery out of the whole thing. Okay. So Freedom 250 Fan Fest. Gaudy as fuck. 250 Fan Fest. Let's see. This is on the White House website. So these are going to be the best pictures you have of the event. Jesus Christ. It's fucking... It is idiocracy, right? Like... Pretty... I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen that fucking movie. You can see that viewership on Paramount Plus was 17 mil per USA Today. That wouldn't surprise me. I think I did see that even Joe Rogan said that, like, Joe Rogan, how many people watched UFC Freedom 250? He made a fucking ridiculous comment on how many people attended or watched this. I don't know what the total overall views are as of now, but I know that it was like well over, I think, 150 million by just Monday. Rogan won on the state. They can expect another 50 or 60 million as people stream the broadcast later. However, the numbers were significantly less on average. There was 8.2 million viewers across the U.S. and Latin America. And at its peak, it reached 17 million, kind of like you said. Rubio predicted 1 billion. Yeah, they were fucking saying it was going to get World Cup numbers. Like, dude, this is our fucking president, dog. This is our president. What the fuck is this? Okay. We're approaching the event, it looks like. Oh, nope, more fucking motorcycles. Okay. So, no pictures here. Let's check this. How many people in Eclipse during UFC Freedom 250? See, this is this fucking AI bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. 80,000. Again, they're all just fucking repeating nothing. I can't find where this 80,000 number comes from. Oh. This is probably going to be our best bet. The viewing area was said in the hours before the mixed martial arts bout were scheduled to begin in a newly built venue on the south lawn of the White House. An army of lucky lottery winners navigated mazes of security barriers to watch the event on big screens in the shadow of the White House monument and the ellipse, not eclipse. I'm stupid. The viewing area was said to be capable of... As typical, the protesters seized upon the occasion, blah, blah, blah. Again, this doesn't say how many people, just how many it was expected to hold. Ellipse Freedom Freedom 250. Okay.
Hi guys, we're at the Freedom 250 Fan Fest, and just in JRE, the American fighter
80,000
headlining the White House fight just won. Here's how day 2 went.
The Wikipedia page. This is a judge overload. Yeah, this is like.
Where are
It feels racist how stereotypical this is.
you coming from?
Like the
California,
crowd.
baby. West side all day.
So you came all the way here just for this?
Oh, yeah. We've been to everywhere. We've been to 300.
Dude, bro is tweaking right now. Bro is definitely on something. Bro is definitely on some Molly right now. He's got the gum. He's got the pupils going. He's got the smile going. He's talkative. Dude's definitely rolling.
Sphere, here, all the big events got to
Nothing's anything wrong with that. Fucking rolling's great. Rolling's fun, but
go in other fights
see
as well.
you, bro.
Yeah, the
I see you,
competitive,
bro.
sure, but it also, sometimes you just need that release. There's a lot of tension, especially in the U.S. today, but sometimes when you can sit behind it and we all get together and root
fucking look at those peoples. God damn.
for the fight, just have a good fight. And of course, I mean, Latinos love a good fight, stand
It's
toe
vibing,
to toe,
man. I'm
and
jealous.
what better way than something like this, man? It's
jealous.
great. It's amazing.
All right, that was very polite, very polite.
80,000 people, huh?
It was amazing. We always believe in him. It was amazing. Second round, crazy.
What the fuck?
Some of the other ones, the regular one.
Make everything small because he knows it's a big deal. He knows how special it is to have these Americans.
Hey, America, we love you. Everybody here loves you. Don't mind the publicity. Everybody here is for America. We love you. Shout out America.
He seems like a nice guy. I was going to say something, but he seems like a nice guy. I'm not going to say anything about him. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. That is not 80,000 people. The other thing I'm going to check right now is if it's possible to put. There's some also for estimating. That wouldn't be a bad idea. The New York Times article I brought up said the area is estimated holding 75,000. I would imagine that the area could hold that many people. I think there were over $100,000 for, or 100,000 people there for the Trump January 6th thing at the Ellipse. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good viewing area. Yeah, you're not wrong. It looks nice. They did a good. Whoever set that up did a good job. Kind of makes it like in an alternate reality. That would be like a pretty lit ass fucking music festival area. Like in Washington D.C. with the Washington Monument behind you. If this was like some kind of like mini Bonnaroo, that'd be kind of fucking. That'd be awesome. Number one. Number two. Ain't no fucking way that's 80,000 people. Ain't no shot that's 80,000 people. That's what? I'm going to guess that being wild... Oh, Jesus Christ. Cut the VOD. Being wildly overestimating, I would say... I feel like saying 10,000 people is wildly overestimating how many people this is. And it's still nowhere near how many people fucking... Anyway, all right. All that to say, they're about everything. 349 to it. fucking there weren't 80,000 people at this goddamn show.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
You
yeah.
hear the cheers from the people that were near, so it was like 3,000 plus people tightly close to the octagon, and then you had 85,000 people in the in the
85,000 people? Wait. $85,000 people? I'm sorry, what? No, fuck. It was a Facebook link. It was this one. Oh yeah, that's 85,000 people, all right. Oh yeah. Thank you, Joe Rogan. Good job. Thank you for allowing the vice president on to your show to lie, and thank you for helping him lie. That is not 80,000 people. Suck my fat dick.
background. It was very eerie.
Yeah, I actually loved that. Like, I loved the delay reaction to where, you know, somebody get a good punch in, or, you know, you get a takedown, and then it was almost like the wave. Right?
Yeah.
Because there was the initial center of it, and then the people outside of it.
It was pretty sick.
It was pretty sick. It was very cool. I think Dana said not once in a lifetime, or not once in a generation, or once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's once ever.
Yeah.
I don't see any other president. I mean, if you become president, you're not going to do that, right?
I don't.
Turns out, at least per this tool, measuring identify. Exactly. It's just like, my guess is that the 80,000 number comes from the area had a mass capacity of 80,000 people per the fire department, or however they figure that out. Then you had Dana White being a fucking retard saying, hey, we're going to sell 85,000 tickets because that's the max, and fuck it, we're giving them all away because America, baby. And then nobody fucking goes because who wants to go see a UFC fight in fucking Washington, D.C. in the middle of June or July? It's hot as shit. Nobody. But they just lie because they don't fucking care. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I mean, like, and the worst part is, like, in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't actually matter. It's just fucking crowd size about a UFC fight on the White House lawn. It doesn't matter. But it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the operation. If nothing's fucking true, everything's possible.
I don't know, man.
I didn't want to do
It's
it.
actually
in the
very
first
cool.
place.
It's a very
It
cool
was
thing.
very cool.
Yeah.
Get it over with. Do it once. It was the only time in the history of the sport where there's been 7 stoppages, 7 knockouts. Like, every single fight was a knockout.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, every single fight.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, we've had 7 knockouts in a card. I think this last weekend we had 10 stoppages. But that was different.
Yeah.
Because it was like 14 fights.
That's right. Well,
This
okay,
is
so-
all fights. Every single fight was a knockout.
So the last fight, when did you realize that was over?
With Conor?
Yeah.
When he fell down the second time, I was like, oh, this is not good. For the first time, I thought he just slipped. It's hard to tell. It's wild. It's in the moment. I thought he slipped. And then when he got up and he threw a kick again, I'm like, oh, I don't like how his leg just gave out. That didn't seem like... And I'm still hoping he's just slipping.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping he's just freaking out because he hasn't been in the
Yeah.
octagon in 5 years. And then he started moving around, and he like grabbed his knee and buckled.
Okay.
And there was some
I didn't
conversation.
notice that.
Yeah, there was some conversation going on between him and Max
Yeah, no
Holloway, and I was
cooperation
like,
anywhere else. That
you know,
doesn't
Max is
surprise
saying
me.
he can't fight, like something's wrong. And he's saying, fight me. He's like, get up. And so he lets him up, and then his knee buckles, and then the referee stops the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always so the very I think
Okay, I
it
don't
was a
care about
concussion
UFC.
thing.
It dropped in the first round.
Yeah, Conor. Yeah, you didn't see that? Conor came back and he fucking blew out his knee like in the first 7 seconds. I'd watch it, but UFC fucking will nuke you from orbit if you try and show something on fucking YouTube. But yeah, Conor came back. Fucking lasted 15 minutes.
You probably have a
15
concussion.
seconds, I should
You
say.
get back up, you keep fighting, you're fighting on instincts. There's been many times where fighters...
Pennsylvania's 60,000 service members.
Whoa. Oh, I gotta sign in. Shit.
Not the best way to make a living, man. Yeah, no. So we saw Gaethje at the White House a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw
and
that. Ken, it's also... I mean, I want them to get paid the most...
About it to me is just how much the sport has replaced boxing. And like, there's still, obviously boxing is still a big deal now, and intense. Like, but it is a crazy shift that's happened in 20 years.
Well, I had some friends this past weekend that manage fighters. My friend John. If
Yeah.
you're in a place like Salt Lake City, it's pretty packed like right away because they only get like one event every year or so.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a more exciting sport. There's more ways to win. It's more dynamic. More things happen.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's more stars. There's so many stars in the UFC.
Yeah. So I'd never seen a fight live before. Like, I watched them on TV, but I'd never been there live. So kind of crazy that it's...
He did get the armbar, but he didn't.
Oh my God.
Watching it, I didn't realize that. I just could not believe that dude held out for like 30 seconds with his
Was
arm in
that more
position.
shocking, or when he said Michelle Obama is a man? Which one was more shocking?
Yeah. Don't say anything about Charlie Kirk, though. Don't make a fucking single joke about Charlie Kirk, or we'll fucking. I swear to God, we're gonna hunt you down. But Michelle Obama, right? She's a fucking dude. I bet she has a dick.
Definitely the armbar part. Man, I work in politics. People say crazy stuff all the time.
Well, he says that every fight.
I fucking hate JD Vance.
Does he?
So
Yeah,
much.
yeah. He said that the last time I interviewed him.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Well, he's like a pro wrestling character. Like
people lost their minds about it.
I know.
Lost their minds about it. To the
I wonder fucking why. Do you think you would understand why JD Vance, who has a wife, who I'd imagine would be upset if someone called his wife a fucking man? Yeah. It's just so depressing, like listening to these motherfuckers talk, and because they don't believe anything they say, but they say it with a fucking smile on their face, and that's one of the most aggravating parts about the whole thing, in my opinion.
point where, again, I had The View either the next day or the day after to sort of promote this book.
That must be fun.
It was crazy. It was harder than anything I've done in politics, but the to the point where all of my comms people...
Bro, conservative men are fucking obsessed with The View. I swear to God, they watch it more than women do.
The thing they were most worried about was they're going to ask you about Michelle Obama being called a man. Like, what are you going to say about it? And I was like, what, an amped up fighter told a joke after a fight, said something after a fight, and that's actually national news. I'm still surprised. I've been in politics now for 3-4 years. I'm still shocked at the shit that people get really fired up about.
Well, I kind of understand. And it because it's at the White House. First of all,
I kind of understand it because it's at the White House and you're kind of calling the ex-president's wife a fucking man. You're insulting a man's wife. So I can understand why some people might not like it. Like, fuck you, Joe. What's your wife's name? If people treated Joe Rogan's wife the way that people treat Obama's wife, Michelle, he would have quit podcasting 10 years ago because he would have had a fucking nervous breakdown. Like, these people act like they're so surprised that people would be upset at some of the things that like people on their side say. And like, it would take a 2-second conversation with them to like have them realize how fucking stupid they are for saying what they're saying.
A cage fight at the White House is crazy already. I mean, if he said Michelle Obama's a man at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, it's like, okay.
It's less of a story.
What he is he's a very good fighter, first of all. But sometimes that's not enough to get attention. And so what Josh has done is created this persona, like this pro wrestling bad guy persona. When you talk to him off stage, he's like very normal, very smart guy.
Yeah.
It's just like he's decided, like, look, I want to maximize the amount of eyeballs.
Unless
that see me,
I swing.
and I'm going to create this crazy persona. He comes out to the Hulk Hogan song, I'm a real American.
That's right.
He has sunglasses on, an
yeah.
American flag
That's
bandana. It's, he's.
I mean, I love the presentation. I love the presentation, but again,
not the best thing to say at the White House. Michelle Obama's a man is not the best thing to say.
Fair, but the reaction to it to me was still totally disproportionate.
Yeah.
Explain that. Explain that, JD Vance. How is the reaction to that disproportionate? What? Give me a specific example about what exact reaction you thought was too over the top for somebody calling Obama or Michelle Obama a man. Like, break that down for me, if you could. Oh, what, you can't because it's fucking stupid?
Of course.
People say stuff all the time, and...
People say like it's just like they don't even defend it anymore. They just they talk like fucking children. And we have Joe Rogan here, one of the biggest podcasts in the world, just tonguing his balls the entire time.
I work in a business where obviously people make life and death decisions all the time, and I'm always a little bit caught off guard by the culture that just overreacts when clearly what Josh is trying to get is the overreaction in the first place.
Right.
So you give him exactly what he wants, and like the worst you could say is, "Oh, that was an offensive comment," and you get on with the rest of your life. Like that's the worst that you could say. The people.
I don't think people were necessarily upset with the comment itself. The comment was gross and disgusting, yeah, but not that he's a smart man, but kind of like what Joe Rogan said. It was at the fucking White House. Like, I don't want to hear a fucking Republican ever mention the word decorum ever again moving forward.
Who really flip out about it and kind of lose their minds. I don't understand that.
Well, first of all, I think a lot of it is there is an economy that is essentially based on getting reactions.
Correct.
And there's a lot of people that are just, for a lack of a better term, they're not real. Their reactions are performative. Like, a lot of what they're doing is just trying to comment on things and get clicks and likes and views.
I like how they're also looking at it only from the one perspective. Like, oh, the people who are responding to the crazy comment, they're the ones who only want the views and the likes and the comments and the money. Like, it's not the people making the crazy comments, it's just the people responding. Like, we're allowed to say whatever we want. It's freedom of speech, right? It's fucking freedom of speech.
And social media has ruined discourse in a lot of ways because people are not having like real conversations about things. They're reacting to things
just like this podcast, Joe. Thank you very much.
On Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
And you know, they look at an opportunity like that, like, oh, I found a gold nugget. You know, like, this is going to give me money, or this is going to give me attention. This is going to give, oh, I can't wait to have a take on that.
Well, that's exactly right.
Says Joe Rogan, famous take haver on his podcast.
So my response to that is so many things is like, oh, he was being funny, he was being outrageous, and I just move on with my life. What I find very interesting is the people who say, you know, oh, that was a joke. Like when Kill Tony, do you remember he told like the joke heard around the world in Madison Square Garden during the 2024 election? I remember getting into an argument.
The joke heard around the world. What fucking losers these guys are.
Somebody about this, and I may have even been like in an interview, but I don't remember. It could have been private too. Anyway, I'm like, he told a joke. And the person's response is, well, it's not a very funny joke. And a joke needs to be funny. Just calling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage isn't fucking clever. It's not funny. There's no payoff on the joke. Like, I'm so curious what he's going to say here. What could he say? The joke wasn't funny. What is he like? Well, that's just like your opinion, man. Like, because it wasn't. There's no way that you can look at comedy and come away thinking that was a good joke. Like, oh my God, like, how did he come up with it? How is he so clever to call an island a floating pile of garbage? I don't understand how someone was able to come up with such an intricate way of describing something. Like, I may have even been like in an interview, but I don't remember. It could have been private too. Anyway, I'm like, he told a joke. And the person's response is, well, it's not a very funny joke. And my response to that is, you know what happens when somebody tells me a joke that's not funny? I don't laugh, and then I move on with my life.
Yeah, but why did he think it was funny? That should be the question, JD. Yeah. Usually, if it's a fucking random joke said by someone in your friend group, or maybe even on a comedy stage at a comedy club on a Friday night, yeah, it's just a joke in a comedy club, and that's fine. You can kind of say crazy shit in those environments, and that's totally okay. But what's the difference between that scenario, JD, and the one we're talking about here? One is at a comedy club, and one is at the Republican National fucking Convention, it wasn't even a convention. It was just a fucking campaign rally. It was just a campaign rally. It was a political campaign rally, and he called a group of Americans fucking garbage. What's the fucking joke? There is no joke there. And the Kirk jokes trigger the fuck out of them. Like, they have no sense of humor. It's just like they have no freedom of speech idea or concept or principles behind freedom of speech. They just want to be able to say whatever they want without people fucking yelling at them or judging them for it. They want freedom from consequences or freedom from judgment, not freedom of speech.
This whole industry around outrage, especially getting outraged around humor, I think is actually really hurting the country.
Oh, this getting outraged around humor is really hurting the country.
Well, in that case, first of all, I told Tony a long time ago that joke was going to get him stabbed. I really did. He even jokes around about it on stage. He talks about me telling him, that's the one, dude. That's the one that's going to get you stabbed.
Any good joke, at least is going to run you something.
But it's not a good fucking joke. There isn't a fucking comedian on the planet that can explain why that joke was such a good joke.
Risk of
Well,
getting
certainly
stabbed.
a racial joke, and that joke being about Puerto Rico. By the way, no one takes a joke better than Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans are some of the best people at telling jokes.
Yeah, but I think some Puerto Ricans might have a fucking problem if you call their home fucking garbage. Like, again, what was the joke? I don't understand what the joke was. If you're poking fun at somebody, you're usually like, there's a reason you're. Like, do I need to explain fucking comedy?
Like it is a culture of joking and fucking
course,
around with each
yes,
other and talking shit.
absolutely.
Like they're great at
Yeah.
it. So like
yeah,
they
I
love
served
him
some
still.
Puerto Rican guys in the Marine Corps, man. That's absolutely true.
They love him still.
Yes.
You know, like even after that joke.
Yeah.
All the Puerto Ricans love him. According, like, Joe Rogan is the czar of comedy. So,
But it
so
was,
you advised him not to tell that joke?
well, I was kind of half joking. You know, Tony, that's what Tony does. You know what? I just said that's the one that's going to get you stabbed.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what Tony does. Tony is like the Josh Hokett of comedy. Like but very talented. You know, he's a really good. He's a
so
roaster.
funny.
He's
Yes.
like roasting is his specialty, but it's also like he's trying to ruffle people's feathers. That's what he wants to do.
Yep.
He wants to piss people off.
and that's, it takes no skill. The thing about that, it takes no talent to just piss people off. Like, anybody can do that. It's not fucking funny. The hard part is telling like racial jokes or stereotype jokes or edgy jokes and making it funny, even if it is offensive. There needs to be a payoff at the end. I don't know why I'm fucking explaining comedy. Like, the fact that Joe Rogan doesn't understand how comedy works is just.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's he likes being a pro wrestling heel.
Yeah.
He's a huge pro wrestling fan.
He
Nothing made more sense than that. That explains so fucking much.
So Tony, I'm a huge.
Jeff Ross. No, I actually have to disagree with you, Mark. It is not Jeff Ross. You're wrong on that. His friend was better. I'll see if you can guess who I'm thinking of.
Huge fan of his comedy. I've only met him a couple
He was
times.
a
I don't
good
know him
friend of
particularly
Jeff
well.
Ross.
But he's actually more political, I would say, than most comedians.
And if you know Jeff Ross's name, I would bet money that you know who I'm talking about.
Do you think that's
Yes,
fair? Okay.
yes.
So huge fan of his comedy. I've only met him a couple times. I don't know him particularly well, but he's actually more political, I would say, than most comedians.
Wait, who?
Well, Tony. I'm a huge fan of his comedy. I've only met him a couple times. I don't know him particularly well, but he's actually more political, I would say, than most comedians.
Greg Giraldo.
Do you think that's
Yes.
fair?
Greg Giraldo was my favorite back in like the OG original Comedy Central fucking roast. Greg Giraldo was the best. Rest in peace, man. He was so fucking funny. You should start eating on stream to look cool. Yo, what's up, Kathy Doyle? Maybe I will. It is a little late though. Yeah, it's a little late to eat. But I'm glad that stuck in your head for so long, Kathy.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Well, very supportive.
I was just trying to fucking do what Hassan does. Like, listen, as much as I hate Hassan, he's a very successful streamer. He knows what he's doing. If he's able to get to where he is eating on stream, what the fuck? I can't eat in a video? Why? Just because I'm not fucking 6'4" like Hassan?
Of like Trump,
Like, he's
and
on the Republican team.
Yes,
He's on the Republican team.
100%.
So-
So because he's experienced so many loony left wing people in
absolutely.
California.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the left wing's people's fault that he's conservative. Oh, so you're telling me that Tony Hinchcliffe is such a spineless fucking feather in the wind that he bases his entire political views on whether or not people are mean to him or not? Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
That's why he had to move.
Well, somebody sent me a clip. I think it was Shane Gillis at a roast where the joke was they were roasting Tony, and they're like, Tony Hinchcliffe is.
Eat ass on stream to look ultra, super, duper cool. Fuck yeah, let's do it. I like your profile picture. Real Kathy Doyle. Hassan eats on stream. You made a prepared short video while eating. Okay. That's basically the fucking same exact thing. I don't understand what you're trying. Like, do you think Hassan has to eat on stream? Do you think he has no fucking choice? Are you okay?
Is the only dude who would be excited if JD Vance was here.
Whatever. I heard you were debunking the Ryan Beard video. When does that start? Where did you hear that?
And I was
that didn't. What the fuck? That didn't come from me. Oh fuck! Where was I? Message redacted. Do you want to play video games? We could play Peak. No, I'm good, Mr. Meow or Morale Live. I appreciate it. It's 8-hour stream. Yeah, he has to. Yep.
Head by every metric.
Yeah, but I mean, okay. So you asked a question: why do all these and squalor and misery on the outside? Like, it's
Right.
how much does it cost if you're going to California? Because that
box of fresh, healthy.
And I was like, one, that's a very good joke, and number two, I feel like I'd made it. Like, there have been a few moments where I feel like I've made it. When
You're
South,
the vice
when
president.
South,
The Ryan Beard video. I don't know if I've ever even watched that video. That came out a couple of years ago, right? Oh, what was it called? Ryan Beard. Destiny, I guess. Content Nuke Destiny. 2 hours or an hour and a half. 1 year ago.
I don't wish to bring anybody.
The drop. Intro. Harming Women Part 1. Harming Children. Harming Women Part 2. Outro. Based. I'm a snarker. Could I call and we can watch Ryan Beard, Meow Live, Meow and Usurp Collab of the Century? I'd love to hear your input. Would Hinchcliffe even have a career if he wasn't Rogan? No, Hinchcliffe probably wouldn't have a career. He is a colon polyp, like you said. Sounds like good content, Mr. Meow. Oh my God, Kathy Doyle and Meow. I am so lucky. Yeah, we can watch part of it. Why not? Give me a second. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Give me a second. Copy. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm loving it. You said it was a Ryan Beard video. There's a link to the Discord. All hairdressers are newsmongers. This ought to be interesting. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Meow, if you want to, I don't know, if you join my Discord or whatever. Okay. You have to be patient with me, Meow, as I figure this out. Noise suppression. 1 second. Test. Okay. That's working. Now, how do I do this? Invite to voice. Can I just do this? Hello?
Hi. Dude, I just fucked up some nachos.
Nice. What kind of nachos?
There's different types. I don't know. I
like,
got
some
chicken, olives, jalapenos.
Oh, okay. So like real nachos. Gotcha. All right. Because like, sometimes people are like, oh, I had nachos. And it's like, what'd you have? It's like, oh, I had fucking chips with cheese on it. I'm like,
Some people rape kids, man. All
I
right.
know.
Some people do a lot of shit.
I don't know
Okay.
you. I don't
Fuck.
know you. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of nacho guy you are. Jesus Christ. Don't gotta jump down my throat.
I don't know you. You could be a child rapist. I could be a child rapist. The world is our oyster right now.
Why'd we go there so quickly?
I'm a big pedophile guy. I'm big on pedophilia. I'm big on child rape.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's like my it's not a catchphrase. What's the term? I also have a very limited
Is that your
vocabulary.
niche?
Yeah, it's like my my niche is pedophilia. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we're all puzzle pieces. We all just got to find where we.
What's
sit.
your niche? You have like mustache. You're kind of like the mustache guy. You're like skinny Noah Samson. Do you paint your nails?
No.
Ooh, guitar in the background.
Yeah.
You're like Noah Samson if he had sex with more women, presumably. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know how much he had sex with women. Probably more than me at this point. So.
I don't say that about yourself. Be kind. Be nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
I haven't had sex in 5 years. You know what I tell myself? I say that I fuck all the time.
Hell yeah, man. It's all about perspective, right? What's 5 years if it's whatever, if you're only 10 years old, right?
That's true.
It's true. Okay. So white loner box is what loner box, not white. So do you just want to go over this?
Loner
video?
box is isn't he like Middle Eastern or some shit?
Isn't he Scottish?
I thought he was like Scotland and then something else. He's like some sort of Middle Eastern.
But he sounds fucking Scottish or Irish to me.
He sounds fucking retarded. That's what he sounds like.
Well, he has an accent. Of course he does. Okay.
I don't wish to bring anybody
So,
any more
hold on,
harassment
my
than they've
computer
already
sucks.
received, but you have to understand.
Take your time.
So, this video, what is this video about? Why do you think I should watch this one? Do you think this is like kind of the best breakdown against Destiny or what?
On YouTube probably. I've watched like 2 Destiny videos. So out of the 2 I've watched, probably this one's the best.
Okay. Now, before we watch this, let me just get an understanding from you.
Sure. Are you going to stream it on Discord for me?
Oh shit, sorry, I'm an asshole. 1 second.
No, you're fine. Ask your question.
Give me just like before I watch this and get a kind of any information on this, give me your perspective on Destiny. Like, what are your just in general? What are your thoughts on him? Why do you hate him? Why are you a snarker?
Hate's a strong word. I don't think he's done anything personal to me.
Okay,
so I don't know if I hate him.
No.
I dislike him because I like an internet where you can shit talk people, you can be mean to people, you can be edgy, and you can do, you can basically without getting into like illegal shit. Like if you say on stream that your mom died, I should be able to make fun of your dead mom or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that I think arises in terms of the internet that I like is, doxing and chilling speech. So the reason I don't like Ethan Klein, for example, is it seems that he is frivolously suing people in order to chill their speech, in order to get them to either stop talking about him or perhaps their political opponents and stuff like that. So I don't like chilling speech. I think you should be able to say whatever you want within the bounds of, what you allow yourself on the internet. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Sure. So I think people like Ethan Klein, people like Destiny, to some extent, people like Hassan even, kind of contradict the position that I have, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like the doxing, the chilling speech, stuff like that kind of goes like totally against what I believe in. I don't care so much about the whole like rape shit. It's bad, but like it's more interpersonal, I guess, and it doesn't really affect me. So while it's bad, some of the stuff that he's done to women and in terms of his interpersonal relationships outside of women, I don't know if I can really like, I'll critique it and stuff, but in terms of like, if I had to lay down one thing I disliked about Destiny, it'd probably be doxing, chilling speech, stuff like that.
Okay, so not cool to his treatment of women, but like whatever, people do other things in their lives, and you're not in their lives, whatever. It doesn't affect.
It's
you,
like
you don't care that much. It's like,
do you know who Dave Grohl is? That
Foo
fucker.
Foo Fighters, yeah.
Yeah, you know how he's like cheated on his wife a fuck ton?
Yes, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, he's cheated on his wife a fuck ton. It's like one of his big controversies. It's like
Pitt cheats on
you can think he's a bit of an asshole for doing it, but also you don't know him.
You don't know
Who
him, man.
cares?
He's good at the drums, right? Like he makes good music, and like I don't like Dave Grohl because of his relationship status and how he treats his wife or his partner. I like Dave Grohl because of his music. No, I agree with you there. One thing that you mentioned, I just want to just ask a question about. You said how on the internet you like an internet where you can kind of say what you want, freedom of speech, blah blah blah. And you made something like, hey, if your mother died and I wanted to make fun of your dead mother, I should be able to do that online, and I should, that should be fine, right?
If you're the one that brought it into the sphere, right? So a good example of this is Stardust, right? Her bird died, and she spent about a week, I want to say, like venting online in public Discord servers or on her Twitter account, saying how sad she was that her bird was dying. She put that into this online sphere under her Stardust name. So I should then be able to take that and make fun of her dead bird.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, that
if
does.
her bird never died, and like, obviously this is not on Kiwi Farms because she put it on Twitter. But if someone, for example, doxed her and like some of the dox information was talking about how she had a dead bird or some shit, I think that would be totally off limits. I don't like to touch dox information, even if it's like incredibly funny, right? Like if someone you really hate gets doxed and some of the shit that was doxed is like super fucking hilarious and you could totally like rape them rhetorically because of it. I like to stay away from it. I like to only touch on what they provide to the online space.
Sorry, 1 second. I was told my mic was a little low. Putting it up. Okay, no, that's fair. I can see where you're coming from. I don't know if I agree with you 100%. And now, when I say that, you're allowed to say whatever you want. If you want to make fun of Stardust for her dead bird dying, that's totally fine. You're allowed to make fun of that. Now, it's different because it's online. Now, just follow me here. If let's say,
sorry, you're gonna have to. You might be quiet on your stream. Sorry, I was deafening to see your audio. Repeat that.
No, you're good. So if I understand what you're saying about like, oh, someone's bird died, Stardust, for example. If I want to make fun of it because she put it out there, she started the conversation, I can join and make fun of her if I want. And that's totally fine. You can do that online, and I think you should be allowed to do that. What now? Let's just say you were in real life and you were at the bar, right? You're having a drink, and someone down at the other side of the bar said, oh, he's talking about how his mom died. And then you all look over and you say to this guy, fuck your mom. I'm glad she's dead. What should that guy be allowed to do to you?
I don't know. Call you an asshole. I don't know. Move on. So I understand I understand what you're trying to get at. I understand if he punched you in the face. Well, I don't think you should respond to violence with violence, first of all. But I understand the point that you're trying to get at.
Did you get it? Like if you were sitting at the bar and you saw a guy talking about his dead mother, and you saw somebody else call his dead mom the cunt, and say like, I'm glad your dead cunt mom is dead, and you saw like that guy get punched in the face, you would probably be like, damn, that guy deserved that. He was saying some crazy shit. No wonder he got punched in the face.
Possibly, but I don't think we're really comparing equal things here. The internet, historically, especially to use the example of Stardust, she's someone who was on the kill stream. She's someone who argued with like neo-Nazis and shit and totally fucking insane racist people. She was on the kill stream with Ralph, and they said like insane shit to each other. So this idea that the internet is like this super cordial place where people don't say unhinged shit and don't say edgy shit, I think is just totally outlandish. I like banter. I like saying insane, edgy shit, right?
Yeah, I don't think it is a place where you can't say edgy shit, or it's a place where edgy shit isn't said. It just seems like it is a place where you can say edgy shit and not have to face the consequences of what you said.
The consequences online are going to be very different than the consequences in real life, though.
Exactly, because in real life, you can get your ass beat. You're not going to get your ass beat online.
I mean, should you, though?
I mean, sometimes.
Do you think it's like a mature response to respond with shit talking in real life by trying to like fight someone?
Really depends on what they say. And not even saying that
I think it's probably almost never okay. I don't know.
I mean, it might never be okay.
I don't think people should be fighting each other. I don't think people should be hitting each other.
And it can be like rationalized and kind of justified in some senses. Like, let's say your kid just died and someone just made fun of that. Are you going to just like say, turn the other cheek and say, oh man, that was mean, but I respect your right to say it? Or are you going to hit him over the head with a fucking baseball bat for saying some crazy shit?
You probably shouldn't do anything. Yeah, you probably should not fucking hit them.
Shouldn't. Yes. Now I'm saying, like, if we're all autonomous, like robot beings who are completely rational, I completely agree with you. You should be able to say something in words.
Okay, but we're talking about when we're talking about like morals and shit, right? We're talking about what you should do, right? And if someone's having like a totally irrational response to their kid dying and they're having a fucking mental breakdown and they hit some guy, yeah, you should not hit people. You should not try to fight people in real life. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
The thing is, again, you're trying to equate online shit to in real life shit. These are totally different spaces with totally different standards.
I agree.
Ultimately,
and I agree they're different, but what I'm trying to point out is that if you have to think about it, how you're not like, if you just say something online, you're not just saying it into a closet by yourself. You're saying it to other people. And when you talk to other people, people are going to have opinions on it, and there might be consequences to some of the
What's the
things
point
you
here?
say.
What's the point that you're trying to get at?
Because when you originally came in and you were talking, you were saying, hey, I should be able to say anything I want, including making fun of someone's dead mother online, and they shouldn't react negatively at all. There should be no reason for them to ever freak out or possibly do something.
They can react negative. Okay. They can react. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. Sorry if I cough like that. They can react negatively. I just think it should be proportional. And I think it's proportional to like shit talk back. If you're escalating to like targeting their IRL shit or doxing or like meaningful harassment or stuff like that, then that's probably off limits. But if I make fun of your dead mom, then you have full right to be like, okay, if I've said some embarrassing shit on stream or in a video, you can look at that and start using that against me, right?
So like, would it be okay if I was like, if you said something online, and you're like, oh, like, hey, usurp, your mom just died, fuck you, and then I said, hey, I'm guessing this isn't your name, but I would imagine if I would be, hey, Sarah, that's a really fucked up thing for you to say, and I kind of doxed you in that. Is that proportional?
I'd say no. Bringing IRL stuff into the online space that the other person isn't consenting to is probably never okay.
You brought my mom into it.
But you're the one who talked about your dead mom, right? You brought that up yourself. You consented to that.
So like,
were you
that's the thing.
Like,
like,
hey,
so
in this hypothetical, obviously, you're like talking about it on stream or you're posting about it on your social media.
Online,
you are consenting for that information to be tied to yourself, right? If my name's Sarah and I haven't tied that to myself, and you bring it up, you are bringing up, especially dox shit. It's obviously for the purposes of harassment, so people who might have ill intent can use that information to fuck with you in real life, right? So that would not be proportional because what I'm doing. I'm just shit talking online. What you're doing is you're providing personal identifying information to someone so that ideally, right, which is the purpose of doxing. Yeah, the purpose of doxing. The purpose of doxing is to harass someone, right?
Yeah.
And to fuck with their in real life. So that's not proportional. You're obviously escalating.
If you're I would say that, like, in my mind, in this scenario, like mocking somebody for their dead parent would be harassment.
Harassment is any purposefully rude action, purposely mean action.
And
so
mocking
if you are purposely mean,
relative is purposely.
Sure. No, what I'm trying to get at is harassment is kind of like a meaningless term. When I say like doxing for the doxing is for the purposes of harassment, and that harassment is in real life, which is obviously going to be, I think anyways, significantly worse than anything that can happen to you online in terms of shit talking, right?
Is it in real life? Like when you say the harassment is in real life, is it? Explain that for me, because in my mind, like the harassment could, in theory, eventually, potentially lead to something in real life. But that harassment.
So, what is the purpose of doxing?
The purpose of doxing is to, in one way, I would imagine, making somebody feel nervous about the actions that they're doing. Maybe saying, "Hey, I'm acting unhinged online, and if my real life identity is tied to this, and people know this is how I act." That's not a good thing. Maybe I shouldn't act like this in real life. Like imagine if you had like a crazy fetish, like you were into Cabbage Patch Kids dolls and you love jerking off on them, and you wouldn't want that out there. You wouldn't want that information to be publicly known, so you can harass somebody with that information.
Okay, so in my mind, the doxing is for the purposes of harassment. You are releasing that information or publicizing it or whatever, so that way bad actors can look at that information and use that to fuck with you in real life. That is the point of it, right? You don't just post someone's name or address or whatever the fuck just to like scare them. You're obviously posting it so that other people have access to it,
like
right?
A name? Like what if you're just like, hey man, that's not nice. I know who you are.
Yeah, you're posting that so other people have access to it, so they could do what? Harass them and try to, maybe use that to derive more information or whatever. I think there is almost no justification for doxing ever.
What about the kind of the reason I gave, where I'm saying, hey, if I feel like if I tie something like your real life identity, some of the unhinged shit you're saying, I think it might stop you from saying some of this unhinged shit.
Can you block and can you ignore? Can you do anything like that?
What if you try and it keeps going? What if they go around blocks? I'm not saying it has to be like a
at
first
that
response, but it can be a justified reaction at some point. Not
I don't know about justified reaction. So when I say like doxing and retaliation and stuff like that, I'm generally talking about like first response. I don't think that I've seen an example of someone who has been harassing someone or making content about someone and they've been blocked. They've like someone tweeting at someone and then they've been blocked and then they've circumvented that block and stuff like that. And then they've like in retaliation, that person's like, okay, this person's obviously being relentless. I'm going to dox them. Usually it's like, you know, the first choice.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, if it's like the first thing,
I just don't think it's. I don't think it's realistic. I mean,
if someone calls, like, if someone came in like, "Hey, your tattoos are fucking ugly," and I was like, "All right, Kelly, here's your docs information." Yeah, that'd be fucking unhinged, and that would be ridiculous. I don't think anyone would ever justify that. In the same way, it's like if I came on and was like, "Hey guys, I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but like." In my life, my mom died. I just want to let you know. I don't really want to talk about it that much. And someone came in and said, "Hey, fuck you and your dead mom." I'd be like, "That's equally unhinged." I brought the conversation out into the public square, but like, wasn't like bringing it out there for you to just shit on me. And it's pretty weird how that can be somebody's first reaction to somebody saying that news, and we have to just treat that person like, you know, like we can't touch them. Like they're allowed to just. Like people just act like
shit talk back.
No, but just people just act like fucking wolves and
me and you can
online.
practice right now. Okay, let's pretend that your mom got fucking crushed by a piano. Okay,
Done.
And I'm gonna make funny like, oh, dude, your mom fucking died in like a gay Looney Tune ass way. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would respond not by doxing, but by try out.
And I would probably say like, yo, if you ever say something like get the fuck away from me. If you ever say something like that again, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Or you could say like
I'm saying like
you look like a fucking rabbit. I'm gonna fucking put you in a magic hat and make you disappear, bitch. Say like goofy shit. Who cares?
See, but like that,
it's the ultimately right.
I got an idea. Hold on, real quick. The reason I don't like that reply, the reply that you suggested, like, oh, you look like a rabbit or whatever. In my mind, that says to the other person, hey, I want to continue this. I like it. You called me a bad name. I'm going to call you a bad name. And now we're going to start this volley of you making fun of me and me making fun of you. But in my mind, like that conversation started with you calling my mother who got crushed by a piano, like a dead ugly bitch. I want this conversation to end right now. Right? That's why I'm saying, hey, get away from here. If you say anything
at that
else
point,
again,
just if they're in chat, you could ban them. If they're on Twitter and they're tweeting at you, you could block
and
them.
In my opinion, the harassment, or my example, I should say, the harassment continues, and then at some point, something must happen. Now, we're going a long way, I guess, from the crux of what this call was going to be about, was Destiny's...
Sure, I'll just end it off like this. I have not seen an example where someone has been doxxed in retaliation for, like, serial harassment in terms of circumventing blogs. What I have seen people been doxxed for is, covering public content, critiquing public content, stuff like that, or like debating someone. That's what I've seen people be doxxed for. I'm like, I'm not going to give examples to doxing. Maybe I could DM you an example or something like that, but I want to be pretty cautious about.
Can we talk about examples that are like publicly out there? That like no one would be surprised.
Probably not. I don't know you too well, so I don't know how well you jive. So potentially not. Maybe off stream, I could like.
I mean, the example I was thinking about was something that like both these people have had conversations about this on streams. It's Destiny and somebody else, but no, I understand. I will respect it. I won't say anything.
I try to avoid talking about docs information on my stream. I'm just gonna.
I'm not talking about docs. I wasn't gonna bring up whoever I was thinking about. I don't know anybody's name. All I know is the online monikers that people go by. I don't got time for this shit.
Sure. So the point that I'm trying to bring up is I acknowledge the hypothetical that you are bringing, and we can obviously distance and go into a different topic after this.
Yeah.
But I acknowledge the hypothetical that you're bringing up. It's just not something I've ever thought about, so I might not have a good answer for it.
And it's like in my mind, like, and I'm not even saying like, oh, you're 100% wrong. I don't know how you can think like this. Like, I understand. Like, growing up, like I grew up online. I'm 36 years old. So
you're 36.
I know. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. So like I understand it. Like I was online in 1999 talking crazy shit on AOL instant message boards. Like, so I understand like the idea, but there's something about, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, and I'm guilty of this myself because I'm on Twitter and I will say some fucking unhinged shit on Twitter. I think when Lindsey Graham died, I said like, oh, he probably died from AIDS from all the loads he's been taking up the ass his entire life. I know if I ever said that in front of the wrong person, I might get beaten to a coma. Because I know that like sometimes in the real world, if you say the wrong thing in front of the wrong people, right or wrong, whether their reaction's justified or not, you might get your fucking ass beat for saying the wrong thing at the wrong place, the wrong time. And I just don't understand how everybody in the world like can take this thing that they know in real life that, hey, if you go to the wrong place and say something bad might happen. But the minute they get online, all of that just disappears and we're allowed to just treat each other like fucking animals. And again, like I said, I'm guilty of this too. I see some crazy shit online and I'm part of the problem, I guess.
Do you think that you should be able to say that crazy shit?
Yes, but I also think that you should expect a reaction. And I don't think you should.
What do you think that I
surprised
expected?
or
If you say something crazy on the internet, what do you think that someone's reaction to you should be?
Honestly, like what we would go back to what I would say earlier. Like if you said something crazy, I'd be like, yo, get out of my face. If you say something like that to me again, it's on. I would give that person a warning saying, hey, you said some crazy shit. I'm not going to snap at you right now and start beating you up. But if you do that again, I'm telling you, you cross the line, like a personal line of mine. If you're going to cross it, we're going to have a problem. I'm not going to say we're going to fight or anything, but I'm just like, like that's what my reaction would be. I don't think you should be, and I don't think any situation with Destiny, somebody said some crazy shit about him and he instantly doxed them. I don't think there's any examples of that. I think all the examples of people that Destiny has doxed or have attempted to dox, to my knowledge, have been, people that have been, however you want to describe it, talking shit about him or harassing him for months at a time. Now, if there is an example of somebody just like tweeting at him and him getting doxed and that person getting doxed by Destiny or his community, show it to me and I'll tweet it out. I don't give a fuck.
Sure. Yeah, I believe there's an example of someone like disagreeing with him in his DGG chat and he responds by posting their email and where they live.
I think I remember.
Have you seen that one? That one's been on Twitter a bit.
Yeah, it was it his email where he lived or was it his email in his college?
Email in college. College, I would assume, is where he lived, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like if I tell you I live in fucking New York City because I go to NYU.
Did he say that though? I don't think he did.
I don't know. I don't remember what school it was. But I just imagine I can imagine like, oh, I go to University of Southern California. Like I don't feel like I'm doxxed there, or I go to school in Denver. Like I don't think that's doxxed, or even I go to school at Harvard.
Okay, so the issue with PII is it's anything that can be used to identify you,
No,
right?
I understand.
So if the only thing that Destiny has is like an email and also where this guy goes to school and where he goes to school is like, in a city or an area, that's still revealing, his general location, which is still doxing. It's like if you post someone's face. Is posting someone's face the same type of harm as posting someone's address? Probably not, right? But it's still bad to do. If someone's not consenting to that information being out there,
but
you
again,
probably still shouldn't.
I would just ask, like, what did that person do? It's never like sometimes the way I hear some of you guys describe it, and you guys, I'm not grouping with anybody. It's just that like only one side has agency.
Also, do you have your OBS virtual cam set up?
No, I have none of this shit set up. I'm
Okay,
so
do you
sorry.
need help setting shit up? I can help you.
Probably wouldn't hurt at some point.
Sure. I can help you do OBS shit after this if you want.
I don't know if I'll be able to do it after this because I do have work in the morning. But I appreciate it.
Anytime you want.
Add me on Discord. Wow. And we could do that.
Sure,
later.
we can be buds.
There we go.
All right, keep going.
It's like, listen, has Destiny, am I going to defend everything that Destiny's ever done everything he's ever done online? No, I wouldn't defend anything my father or my mother or my sister or my wife has done. Like, I wouldn't do that for anybody. But at the same time, I do feel like I hear some of the way people talk about Destiny. I've been watching him for a couple years. I don't see the same thing that a lot of people tend to see. And that's why I've often had this call out because, listen, if I'm wrong,
So
if I'm wrong,
you
let me know I'm wrong.
What do you think? So you gave the challenge, I suppose, like 5 minutes ago. You're like, I don't think he's doxed anybody that hasn't done anything. It seems like I gave you an example of him doxing someone who didn't really do anything. He was just.
You gave me an example, and let's to be fair, I'm just taking your word for it, right?
Oh, I thought you had seen it. I can see if I can find you.
Yeah, if you can find it for me, let me know, because I can. Again, I don't know if I would agree with you that it's doxing. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll take me a minute, but I'll find it for you.
And again, I would have to see what prompted Destiny, because I don't know if it was just like a hey this and then. You know what? He might have been wrong in that situation, and he might have been fucking super cranky that day for something else, and he might have overreacted in that situation. In which case, I'd be like, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. That was fucking retarded, or that was bad.
Sure. I might not, if I can't find it live on stream and send it to you, I'll find it eventually. And
I wouldn't expect you, I don't expect you to have a folder of all this shit. That would be even creepier than if you couldn't find it. So, yeah, I just don't get it. I do think that there's a lot of crazy shit going on online. With all this.
What do you think the false narrative is, I guess, then? If everybody else is saying something that you don't see, what is the false narrative? If you could sum it up in like maybe 2 sentences or less.
People, like the way people talk about Destiny, I'll just say this, like the way people talk about him from the outside, it's like you would think that he's like fucking
what are they saying?
Coney 2012. Oh, that he's a sex pest sexual abuser. He, like, if you listen to sometimes what Hassan will say, he's, I don't know if Hassan would ever say he raped women, but he sexually abuses women. He's manipulative. He sicks his audience, his audience on people. He weaponizes DGG in like really bad ways. He's been running these long.
Okay, hold on. Restart. Let me actually write these down. So sex pest.
Yeah, just like the whole sex pest, sex criminal, rapist allegations. The fact that he uses his community, like wields his community as a weapon. He is like an abusive doxer. Like to the point where like, is Destiny a perfect human being? No, but is he so bad that like you should avoid talking to this person as if they're Voldemort? No, I don't think that is. And there's a lot of people that do treat him that way. They treat him as if like if they were even to like be in the same voice chat as with Destiny, like their life would be in danger. And I just don't understand where that fear comes from.
Sure. So one of the ones is uses community as a weapon. Let me see if I can find this tweet.
Mm-hmm. Now, and then I will say this. Anytime I get like confused or kind of aggravated when I hear somebody say that, it's usually coming from somebody who, in my opinion, uses their community in a much more obvious and intentful way than what Destiny does. For example, Hassan will say that about Destiny, I believe Hassan uses his community as a weapon way more than Destiny does. And I think Hassan even has a bigger audience in Destiny, and he's able to use it. It's like using a nuke versus a cluster bomb. If you're talking about like Hassan versus Destiny. So like when people, it's usually the people that are talking shit about him are just, they're talking in a mirror, in my opinion.
Okay. So I went ahead and linked you something.
Where would I find it? Is it in Discord?
In your DMs.
Oh, so, got it. One second.
And at this point,
shut up.
I'm kind of being pushed into playing my entire hand. There will be no.
Okay. This tree right here.
So instantly when you said, holy fuck, I'm still in Spider-Man. Oh, let me close this out. It's probably killing my bitrate. Holy shit. Sorry, I was playing Spider-Man watching your stream.
No, you're good.
So instantly when you said uses community as a weapon, and you framed that as being false, the immediate thing that was shot into my brain, like little alien worm rays, was this tweet. You want to read this out loud and give me your take?
Yeah, I'll read it out loud. point me to the next journalist that gives him, Hassan, a softball interview, and I will dedicate my entire fan base and weeks of my time to emailing, tweeting, spamming this person off the internet, actually. I'm sick and tired of people like Hassan the Hun getting a free pass by Twitch and DJ Dan Clancy to openly dox and infinitely harass every single person online that they deem to be unworthy or inferior to them. Every single person who continues to platform this creepy fuck with zero pushback is responsible for him and the disgusting cultish fan base of freaks and abusers that he openly supports and gives credit to. Also, fuck every
so the
single...
point.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you can read the rest if you want, but the one that I care about is that first sentence. If you want to read the rest, if you feel
No, and that's totally fine. This one, this is him using his audience, but the thing is, Destiny would agree with you, and he's doing that on purpose. And people complaining about Destiny using his audience as a weapon, or making
so you
before,
you concede to me that you were wrong about him using his community as a weapon. You frame that as false.
So well, then I also right afterwards I said, anytime when I said people using or people complain about Destiny using his audience as a weapon, are usually people like Hassan who are bringing that talk and that thought into the zeitgeist. People like Hassan.
So you agree that he does use his community as a weapon?
Not like the way Hassan does, no. And
okay,
everything
I don't care
that I'm
about
saying
Hassan.
is going to be
I don't give a
in
fuck
comparison. All right, well I do.
And
the reason, here's the whole.
My critiques against Destiny
and the reason I put
are
out this all
solely
of this,
about Destiny.
And
they're not
reason
Destiny's
I put
bad
out,
because
the
this other
reason I put out this
person's
thing
bad
about
or whatever.
Destiny, how everyone always talks about how Destiny's the worst and how he's so bad and how he's X, Y, and Z. The reason I don't believe people when they say that is that you don't care about those things. Because if you cared about those things that you say you don't like about Destiny because he does X, Y, and Z, then you wouldn't like anybody who does X, Y, and Z. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It only seems like you don't like it when Destiny does these certain things. Because Hassan and other creators online do everything that you complain about Destiny doing. But only one of them is, again, I'm talking like I'm talking to you, but I'm not directing all of this towards you. There are some people out there who are so afraid and will not talk to him and say he's this demonic figure for doing these things, but they'll talk to other people that do the exact same thing that they're claiming Destiny's doing. It's just a hypocrisy. Again, I don't think Destiny's a perfect human being. I'm not here to defend his character. I'm here to call
the issue
out
I
other
have with your
people.
position right now is if Destiny was genuinely a rapist, but he only raped one girl, but Hassan raped two girls, it seems like you wouldn't really care that Destiny raped one girl because Hassan did the same thing but worse.
No, I would, because that situation you're talking about harming another person, and this time in the situation that I've been talking about,
Right, but if you use your community as a weapon successfully, then you are harming people, right?
Yeah, but I'm not comparing that to rape. That's a childish thing to think.
Okay, well, again, as I said, I'm big on child rape here.
I know,
so,
but like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, we can compare that to rape, and no fucking shit, it's gonna be worse. Like, but we're not.
Can
talking
criticism of Destiny exist outside of praise or criticism for Hassan?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Can criticism of Destiny exist on its own outside of praise for Hassan or criticism of Hassan? Can it exist on its own?
And it can be justified, and it can be
okay.
And it's
so
normal,
my
it's
criticism
fine.
of Destiny that I'm giving to you right now is that Destiny has shown that he will use his community as a weapon.
Do you have an example? From
And I think
before
that
this
is
date?
bad. There's probably an example I'd have to dig for it. This is just the one that I have on the top of my
To me
head.
later, I'm not asking you that to put you on the spot. I'm just saying, like, he would agree with you on this. So, like, it's like saying, like, oh, this person.
Well, do
drives
you agree
reckless.
with me that he is using his community as a weapon?
Yeah, but it's like saying, hey, I don't speak.
And you think that using your community as a weapon is bad?
It can be bad.
It can be? When isn't it? I mean,
if you're using it like as a weapon for good, I guess. I don't know. Like if you're using it if you're weaponizing your audience to raise money for charity.
Okay, but it seems like this is an example of him saying that he wants to harass.
And then,
right?
But why? Why
does it matter? Why is harassment justified ever?
It could be.
Give me an example where harassment's justified.
Let's say you see a fucking bully, like some dude pushing an old lady down the street. And you and 5 other guys go around up and harass the dude who's harassing the woman.
Okay. So I struggle because I don't know if I would describe that as harassment, really. Regardless, I struggle to find a situation where harassment is justified. The same way I struggle to find a situation where, doxing is justified.
Is
Like,
yelling
obviously,
ever
there's going to be
justified?
your niche, like, fucking 1% scenarios where there's a guy who's, like, fucking raping toddlers and talking about it on Tumblr or some shit. It's like, am I going to really care if that guy gets doxed? Sure. But, like, ultimately, all, like, this space that we inhabit, everybody here that might be doxed or is at risk of being doxed or has been doxed or whatever, all of these people ultimately are just doing, like, either politics content or internet drama content. So I struggle to find a situation in this space where harassing a fellow content creator or politician or doxing a fellow content creator or politician is ever justified. So when I say that I think using your community as a weapon is bad, and I think this is a very easy condemnation for you to make, for you to look at this tweet and be like, yeah, this seems like a shitty thing to do. And then your response is, well, there could be a good reason to do it. We're looking at a reason that seemingly is not justified, right?
I would agree.
Just because someone talks to...
I would justify his reaction here, but that we can get into that later. But let me ask you just like one more, like give you one more example.
You think that if you talk
harassing.
to Hassan, you should be harassed?
I don't think it's just talking to Hassan. That's not what he's saying.
Do you think if you collaborate with Hassan in any way, should you be harassed?
That's not what he's saying.
I'm asking you. Do you think that should be the case?
No.
Okay.
But that's not what he's saying.
If you give him a softball interview, should you then be harassed?
Yeah. I think if you give Trump a softball interview, I would be okay with you being harassed on the internet. Now, number one, I think you were defending this type of online harassment in the past, right? Earlier in our conversation, because all he's asking is like, I'm gonna have them email and tweeting and spamming the person. So I
don't think I defended that. No.
No, but you were talking like it seems that what Destiny's saying is say, I'm gonna have my audience email and send messages to these people, maybe even saying really, really mean things to these people. But it's on the internet and they're just talking shit online. So that should be that's totally okay. They're allowed to do that. And
an individual doing that, okay, hold on. An individual doing that organically is very different than a content creator using their audience and saying, hey, all of you guys go do this and doing like a mass harassment campaign. Those are very different things, right? Yes.
I mean, there are two different actions, but I don't see the results as being that different. No. Because what if you're in a Discord with like 30 of your friends who all play Arc Raiders and you do the same thing?
That'd be bad. That'd be shitty. Yeah.
Why? I thought you were allowed to talk shit online.
If you're doing coordinated harassment, yeah, I think that's always bad.
But what if it's for a good reason?
I struggle to find a situation where it's a good reason. Inciting harassment is bad. Okay, hold on. This is
offline.
I need to know specifically what that pedophile is doing, but generally, I think internet vigilantism.
Whatever the worst thing in your mind is.
I think internet vigilante is pretty reductive.
Yeah, but again,
and does not really solve much. I think we've seen where pedophiles are harassed online and it doesn't do anything. So I don't think there's any benefit.
I know, but this is where I struggle because earlier you were saying that you should be able to just talk.
Okay, do you think inciting harassment is bad?
It depends. Again,
it doesn't depend.
No, can I give you one more example of harassment that I think would be good, but we just got to go back like 150 years? Do you know what a snake oil salesman is? Like you remember, like you ever heard that term before?
So I think
here, roll with me on this one real quick.
What I'm trying to get at,
you know what a snake oil salesman is, right?
So harassment. How are you defining harassment?
Let's go. I'd rather hear yours because you're saying it's never justified. So I'm wondering what your thoughts on it are.
Let me just look up a definition. So we don't have to even argue about like philosophy or whatever.
You can like harass somebody out of your neighborhood that's fucking causing a racket. Harassing could be as much as like 5 people yelling at somebody, hey, get the fuck out of here. You know, yeah, you get the fuck out of here. That could be harassing somebody, right? At least in my mind, like, because harassing is like not, it doesn't go as high.
No,
as
so
like
some definitions of harassment is literally, it can be as simple as like calling someone a dipshit, and then as extreme as like coordinated death threats, right? There's not really
Yeah,
the legal precedent is generally pretty extreme, and nothing really within like hyper specific scenarios online really falls under legal harassment.
Yeah, because like in my mind,
harassment
like,
is generally just like being rude. I'm trying to find a good
That's what
definition.
and that's
though.
the way I was thinking, like, because if anything else, like if it was like getting towards like violence, I would probably call that assault, you know, or like because you can do like assault without even hitting somebody, right? In theory. So yeah, so when I hear like harassment, when I'm having, like when I'm reading this tweet from Destiny, it's not he's not pointing to a random person. He's not pointing to like a small nobody. And he's saying, hey, if anybody's going to give a softball interview to the largest left-wing political commentator on the internet, I'm going to use my audience to have them go to you and say, hey, that was really bad. Now, he uses the term harass here, and depending on how you want to view that word, that can mean a lot of different things. But I don't think he's saying, hey, I'm going to make sure that this person never fucking sleeps at night. I'm going to make sure he gets 35 Domino's deliveries every single day. He's just saying, like, hey, if you give this guy a softball interview, I'm going to let my audience know that this happened, and they're going to let you know that they're not happy with it, in which they are. Because, again, I don't think he's pointing his audience to attack anything that's against something that they would attack anyway. Anybody who's watching Destiny for his political takes are going to agree with what he's pointing the people towards to anyway. I don't like in my mind. I understand what.
Okay, again, I want to ask what you think harassment means. What do you think harassment means?
Kind of what we were saying earlier. It really depends on the scenario. Like you can tell me like, oh, this guy was harassing me on the walk home, and it was some guy catcalling you.
Gun to your head, you have to give me like a 4-sentence or less definition.
If I was going to use
Could
it,
you do that?
I was coming home and somebody was harassing me. It's like somebody pestering you is how I would describe it. Like, here, can I tell you? I'm picking a scenario in my head. You're walking down New York City and this guy's trying to fucking sell you his CD. Right? And he's like, no, man, it's the best. Here, just take it. It's only $5. And you're just like, no, man, I'm good. I'm fine. Hey, man, no, take it, man. It's the best CD ever. It's the best. No, man, I'm good. That would be like, dude, I was walking home and this guy was fucking harassing me outside of Madison Square Garden. He wouldn't leave me alone. He kept trying to give me his CD. I didn't want to give him any. That's harassment in my mind. At least that's how I'm picturing it.
Sure. So you could describe it as any unwelcome repeated behavior that threatens, alarms, demeans, causes mental or emotional distress.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So I would say that if you are purposely
is that ever
trying to
justified to do that to anybody?
I struggle to find a scenario where it is.
Okay.
Because ultimately, like even in the example where you're harassing like a giga pedophile, ultimately, that pedophile, unfortunately, right? I don't know if you're a wood chipper guy, but unfortunately, that motherfucker still has rights, and unfortunately, it's still illegal to and obviously, depending on how extreme the harassment is, it's still illegal to harass that person or to physically harm that person.
You're allowed to yell at somebody
right?
and tell them to get the fuck out of it. Like, you're allowed to do that. And obviously, you can pass levels. And now, I think if you were to ask Destiny, if he was being honest, and you were like, hey, at what point do you want people to harass you by? Like, what are you telling people? I don't think he's going to be saying, hey, I want them to bully these people until they fucking kill themselves. He's probably going to be saying, hey, I want these people to know that you gave this person a fucking softball interview, and these are the reasons why it's bad, and this is why I'm doing this. Now, again, like at least with this example, he's pointing to something that he has a problem with, and he's saying, hey, I'm going to have my audience do this thing, right? Like he's announcing this is what he's doing. He's not making it a secret.
Do you think it's ever okay to threaten someone? Probably not, right?
Yes.
Yes, like it's not, or yes, like there is a situation you could think
Yes,
of.
there's absolutely situations where you can threaten people.
Okay. Is it okay ever to threaten someone when that person has never ever had contact with you? You're viewing their actions from like a third person in relation to a softball interview. Is it okay to threaten someone who's done a softball interview?
Threaten? Like, are you threatening violence? Threaten what?
I think. Like, do we have to define specifically what the threat is? It's just threaten them. Threaten them.
Yeah, but like in my mind, if you say like I'm threatening you, that's like usually a really bad thing. right?
Right. So it's probably, at least like at first thought, probably never okay to threaten someone, right?
No, you can threaten people. Yeah. Depends why you're threatening them.
Like when?
Let's say somebody was rough with your daughter.
Okay. With the softball, sorry, I should have specified the softball interview.
Yes.
Why is it okay to threaten someone who does a softball interview?
Let's say we're 50 years into the future. We have a Democratic president, and this Democratic president wants to.
Can you tell me why without giving a hypothetical?
Because there are some times where you can threaten people where you're threatening somebody to stop them from doing something bad.
Okay.
You can threaten person.
And the goal, I'm guessing, is to stop them from doing future softball interviews.
Yes. Because you think that these softball interviews are not just softball interviews, but they're leading to the destruction of the country that you live in.
Sure. How do you prove that something's a softball interview?
I guess it's like art, right?
That's, you understand that's like a really bad thing to say, though. It's subjective, right? Obviously, it's subjective.
So let's.
No, I understand. I agree. I agree. This is what I'm going to say, okay? I think it is super subjective if something is a softball interview or not, right?
No, what do you... Okay. What do you think?
So therefore, it is bad to then try to cause someone who's done a softball interview harm because
what's the harm?
You can't really prove it. Right? You can't really prove if they've done a softball interview. You don't know if maybe like there's so much context that, we just don't have.
Give
also,
me the scenario.
Right? This person could be a new interviewer. This could be their first ever fucking interview. Like there's a wide variety of things that could apply that Destiny probably doesn't care about. He's probably just going to see someone maybe be a little nice to Hassan at the low end and be like, fuck, he's giving a softball interview. And then he's going to send his audience, which is known to, spread dox information. And use dox information against people to fuck with this person, to fuck with this journalist, right?
Can I ask you a question? Can you, I know you don't want to necessarily deal with hypotheticals. Can you paint me, in your mind, what's like a realistic, quote unquote, realistic worst case scenario that can result from this?
From doxing or harassment?
No, from tell me, because you were saying, what if it's because in my mind, I don't think Destiny's having this tweet out there for a guy who has a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers who got a Hassan for a 7-minute interview on his little YouTube channel. I don't think Destiny's going to go after that person. I think Destiny's primarily talking to people in the media who are giving Hassan, because Hassan's he's got his big boy suit on these days and he's getting a lot of, real life interviews with real life journalists and real life people who should know how to do research and ask actual questions. Now, because in my mind, the scenario you painted, it's going to be this small bean guy who just asked Hassan about video games.
Sure. What's the question? Can I imagine a world with what? Sorry, what's the question?
Paint me a scenario where this goes wrong. That's realistic.
Goes wrong. Okay. What's the actual question? What do you want me to answer? Harassing someone?
No, because because you're saying he's going to harass somebody. Destiny's going to, or Hassan's going to talk to some small creator and that person's going to get harassed, right? That's your worry? Is that your big fear?
My worry is anybody could interview this guy and then subjectively someone could view it as a softball interview and then send their fan base after them who are known to use dox information to harass. And then that could escalate into something that probably would not be justified.
Okay. And if that happened, that would suck. But I don't think that's what he was saying he's going to do here. I think this is taking
was that the answer to your question? I'm a bit confused.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's you're looking at this, you're reading this in the worst light possible, right? Because you say you were talking.
I am reading this. Okay.
Well,
hold on. I'm not reading it. I'm reading it and what it says. Point me to the next journalist that gives him a softball interview, and I will dedicate my entire fan base and weeks of my time to emailing, tweeting, spamming that person off the internet. So this is describing someone who does a softball interview, which is subjective. I don't think you could really prove that. And he will dedicate his entire fan base and weeks of his personal time to emailing, tweeting, and spamming this person off the internet. This isn't to try to get them to do better interviews. This is to get them deplatformed. This is to get them to never do an interview again. And this is to send a fan base, which is known for using dox information against people, to fuck with people, to harass people, right? So I look at this, he's setting a standard where he gets to decide the playing field. He gets to decide what a softball interview is, because that is ultimately subjective. And he will use his audience to harass someone off the internet if someone gives Hassan a softball interview. Would he do that to like a fucking 500 sub YouTuber versus like a fucking New York Times whatever? I don't know what the difference is there. I don't know
So
if
you
he would in
think,
one case and
like-
would in the other. I think he's just saying that he would in one case, which is bad.
So you think that, like, because in my mind, Destiny's talking about like real journalists when he made this tweet. Because like you agree, he's not going to do.
Do you disagree with what I said?
Yes. Because I don't.
Why do you
think-
disagree?
Because like how you said, you don't think he's going to do this to some 500 viewer Andy. He's going to do this. To
I don't
somebody
know. He could.
But like you just said, you don't think he's going to do it. He's more likely going to do it to somebody at the New York Times, right? That's probably.
No, I said I don't know the difference there. I don't know if he has a difference.
my
He
opinion-
could.
in my
It doesn't
opinion-
matter who he's going to do this to. Does it matter who he's going to do this to?
Stop. In my opinion, if he's talking about like real journalists in this thing, in his tweet, he's not talking about YouTubers. He's talking about journalists. That's why he says the next journalist, not fucking content creator. So he's talking about journalists. Now, these journalists are fucking adults who put their name on shit. They're not worried about getting fucking doxxed, okay? These are journalists at the New York Times who put their name on the byline. Now, these people...
Do they put their address there?
When did he say he's going to dox them?
You said they're not
Thank
worried
you.
about being doxxed. I'm asking you,
No, but
do they put their address
But
there?
he's not talking about that, is he?
Answer the question.
No, they don't.
Do they put their families' names or addresses there?
No. Do they put
Do
their
they
dog's
put
names
any
there?
other PII there other than perhaps their name or email?
Nope. I'm gonna ask you
Okay.
3 questions.
Right?
Did
So
Destiny-
it
wait,
would
no,
still
no,
be
stop.
it would
You're
still
gonna be
be
quiet.
bad
You're gonna
if they were to
quiet
be
now.
doxxed, right?
Yes. Where did he say in this
Okay.
message that his plan was to dox?
I don't think he says the
Where in
plan is
this
dox.
tweet did he say that he was going to do anything like that?
So the way that I read that, again, I think I've explained this, but I'll explain it again. Dedicate my entire fan base and weeks of my time to emailing, tweeting, spamming this person off of the internet, dedicating his fan base. You agree, hopefully, that his fan base has used dox information in the past, correct?
Probably.
To fuck with someone.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so if he is dedicating his fan base, he is willing to dox people. His fan base is willing to dox people.
Whoa,
This isn't
okay,
something that is.
When has Destiny ever greenlit or approved of or has like found somebody who has doxed somebody and not banned them from his community? There is no example
Dan?
of that. There is no example. If anybody in his community doxes somebody who
Dan?
does anything like that,
Dan?
who did Dan dox?
I might be able to grab you an example of that. Do you disagree that Dan hasn't? Do you think that Dan hasn't doxed people?
He might have, but he might have been justified in doing so. Because unlike you, I believe there are times when it's
Okay.
legitimate to.
So the standard
make
here
some-
isn't if he has let someone in their community that has doxed someone. It's if he has, and also if it was
No,
justified.
it's both. No, because my standard is the one that you described and the one that I questioned. Because you described him.
Would the
using- wait,
goalpost
stop,
change
stop.
if he
No,
let someone in his
quiet.
community that has doxed someone, but it was justified?
Would the goalpost change if he allowed somebody in his community that he doxed but just justified? It would really depend on the situation. But here's the thing. What you were saying earlier, you were saying that... No, hold on a second. Brain fart. Fuck, where was I going with that? Damn.
Sure, we can move off from this topic if you want as well.
Anyway, no,
if you want to go to a
it's like,
different
'cause
one.
in my mind, like, he's talking about journalists here. And these journalists, they're fucking big boys and they're big girls. And these journalists are used to fucking Donald Trump calling them out and saying, like, hey, this guy's a fucking retard. He should be fired from his job. I think they can handle Destiny saying, hey, I think you gave Hassan a bad interview.
That's not what he's saying is going to happen, though.
Who do you think, like, commands a bigger audience, Trump or Destiny?
I think what Destiny is saying here, that he is going to dedicate weeks of his time and direct his audience to email, tweet, and spam someone off the internet. That's what I think is being described here. And I think doing that to anyone for almost any reason that I can think of in relation to this space, obviously, someone being a fucking giga pedophile or whatever, obviously, does not apply to this space because ultimately it's like commentary shit, politics shit, whatever. I struggle to find a situation where doing something like this is justified, especially something that is as subjective as a softball interview. That is my take.
All right.
Do you have any specific questions about my take?
No,
there?
I just think that's like a very just simple way to view it. Things. It's very like naive and childlike, but it doesn't look. I don't think we're going to come to an agreement on this at least tonight. Yeah.
Sure. Do you feel like before we move on to another topic, is there anything in this specific disagreement that you felt that I did not answer or talk about?
I'd have to re-listen to it and go back again. I think
No, you don't. It's fine. I just didn't. I understand we talked over each other. I didn't want to.
No.
You know,
you're fine.
leave you hanging on something you wanted to
No,
fucking whatever.
you're good. Yeah, it's just like a lot of this shit seems soy as fuck. A lot of it seems like very targeted. Like you only care about this if it's going one way, which like is a normal thing for all of us to do. It's like if you're a sports fan, you see pass interference against your team a lot different than you see it if your team does it. So I'm not even saying it's necessarily a negative thing. It's just a thing that I view, I guess, as a fan of, or, as a fan of Destiny. Where do we go from here? Yeah, I mean, maybe we might have to come back to this tomorrow because I'm getting a little tired and my brain's starting to stop.
Oh, sure. Really, I don't want to. I'll mute if he comes in. But Ogre Boy wanted to talk to you. Do you want to chat with him really quick?
I actually don't. Not tonight. Ogre Boy is a fucking pussy, and it's funny how he's finally starting to come talk to me after I was trying to talk to him for a while. But no,
I think it's because I've come and softened you with my childhood whimsy.
Well, he can wait a little bit longer. He waited this long. Sure. He can wait a little bit longer. But
you want to do one more thing before you dip out, or do you want to leave right now?
Give me 20 seconds. Let me fill this up real quick. Grab a drink of water.
No, you're good. Take your time. Hi, usurp chat. Smile. Hi, usurp chat. Alexander Shulgan. Hi. 10. Hi. Missy. Hi. Noah Waterman. See, look how fucking kind I am. I'm giving more attention to usurp's chat than my own. I'm such a wholesome critter type shit. Acreal, XFTFDX, Owlish, yes sir, awesome stuff. Infallible Foul, awesome. Put in Doobers. Get Doobie now. Get Doobie in here stat. We need the child porn Batman. Okay.
Christ. That guy. All right. What was that? What was that last point you got? What's up, dog?
Was there anything you wanted to talk about?
Oh, no. I would like to continue the conversation. I would like to go through this video that we made it 4 seconds into. The Ryan Beard one, because I would be curious about that. But you said you had one more thing you wanted to ask?
Oh, I was saying I not off the top of my head. I don't know anything about you, so I don't know what I might disagree with. I was saying if you want to go one more topic, we can before you leave.
Let me just think real quick. Yeah. No, I just think that I think all this shit's so stupid. No, it's just I'm a fan of Destiny, obviously, so I'm gonna defend my team versus the other teams online because that's what we do in life. I do think that the obsession people have with Destiny seems weird from my perspective, obviously, but that's just the outsider's perspective. I think the best way is just to have a conversation. It would probably be good to just go through the Ryan Beard video because that'll just bring up topics that we can talk about. Because again, I feel like this Ryan Beard video is.
We might have to put a timer on the topics, though. We might have to have a 20-minute if we disagree on something, a 20-minute thing if we're gonna get through the video.
Yeah, that's totally.
Unless you don't want to, we don't have to. But I'm saying if you want to actually get through the video, we might have to do some sort of rule where we can only disagree on something for 20 minutes.
That works. We can fucking play it by ear. But I will give it to you. At least you were the first fucking person who actually had his nuts drop and were able to actually come in here. So congratulations, Meow. You're not a coward. You can at least hold your head up high with that.
Not yet. Maybe I'll be pretty cowardly in the future.
No,
Who knows?
I don't think you are. Listen, I heard you on you spoke with Destiny, right?
I believe so. Yeah, if memory serves.
Yeah, I feel like you like talked to him like in the past month, and listen, fucking more power to you. Most people aren't fucking brave enough to go and talk in front of 10,000 people, and have that conversation. So, as much as I may disagree with you, I'll give you that. You have some nuts on you, unlike a lot of people in your space, I'll say.
Yeah, I'm pretty like I said, I'm pretty passionate about internet free speech and internet anonymity, and I'm willing to fight for those things within reason, outside of talking to someone who's like gonna use my platform to spread dog shit.
That is another thing I would actually like to go for, because like I understand the whole idea about internet anonymity. I used to be a really, 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 really big advocate about that growing up. I'm completely gone with that. I don't think that I would pay like $300 a month for an internet that's tied to people's social security numbers. I would pay that in a fucking heartbeat.
Social security numbers?
Yes. Just if you imagine if you could log on to an internet.
It's pretty bad for someone to know your social security number. Am I like incorrect?
I'm not trying to say that would be your username, but like in my world, when I say like social security number, imagine logging into an internet service, even if you have to pay more for it, where you know that every single person who's talking is a real person. There's no like.
Okay,
like
so
in my mind.
No, hold on. You're not against internet anonymity insofar as you should have like your legal government name as your username along with your face. You're against it in that you want better like protections in terms of account creation to try to prevent bots.
And I do think that if you are like if you make money on it, if you make money from the internet, your name should be out there too. If you make money online, if you
care that Wick was doxxed?
What's that?
Do you care that Wick was doxxed?
I was doxxed, dude.
I think it's bad that you were doxxed. I don't know why. Do you care that Wick was doxxed?
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
But he took money from a PAC. Do you think that your name should be out there and publicized if you take money from a PAC?
Yeah. I think that if you take money from a PAC and you do work online, I would put the same rule against me. Yeah. I think.
Okay, so if you think his name should be out there, why is it bad that he was doxxed?
Because it's not. Because I think that if it would be right if we made a rule where everybody had to play by the same rules. Like I wouldn't.
We do have a rule. If you're paid from a PAC, your name's out there. Your name is publicized. That is a rule that already exists. That's why his name is out there, is because he was paid from a PAC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then but Hassan just scrolled through that on his stream, right? Like he was watching the Bad Empanada video and he was just like rolling through the PV leaks where it had everybody's name and information on it.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not sure specifically who
of course, like,
has looked at it on stream.
Money, yeah, and I think I would in my ideal world.
No, hold on, fuck, I'm retarded. Yes, he did. Yes, okay, totally. Yes. Sorry, I was mixing something up. Yes.
In my ideal world, everybody who does it, everybody's name would be out there just because it's like, hey. Like we're fucking adults. If you're over 18,
everybody who is paid from a PAC name is out there.
Everybody who's who's talking politics, who's making money online. I don't have the legislation written out, but I don't think that you should be able to put your name out there and like make money online anonymously. Like there's no job in the world.
Okay, what I'm trying to ask you. What I'm trying to ask you. If your PAC, your name gets put out there, do you think that is a good thing?
No. It really depends on why. Like,
you think it's bad that your name gets put out there if you're from a PAC?
It's not that easy of a question because, like, why? Is there a news article that's being written about you? That's a good thing. Is it somebody posting that information to try and like chill your speech? That's a bad thing.
So the reason that okay. Like politics shit, which I don't really touch. So I could get some of this wrong.
Shit's nuanced.
But a political action committee, the reason that your name is publicized is to try to prevent, is it tipping of the scale or some shit like that, right?
Are you talking about like the whole like you can't get paid to vote? kind of thing. What do you wait, tipping the scale? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I know one of the reasons like
Something like that.
They don't record your vote, so you can't prove who you voted for, so people can't pay you for it. That's one of the
Consumer
reasons,
protections and ads. Okay, there are reasons as to why your name is put out there when you are paid from a PAC. I know that.
I'm not sure if there's rules.
Fuzzy on specifically the exact reasons.
I don't know if it's like the same reason as like. It's probably because the money the PAC is spending has to be accounted for. That would
I believe it's something like that. So if the PAC pays someone,
it probably more has more to do with the PAC
Go ahead,
spending than the creator receiving. I would almost imagine.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So you think that is good that happens, or do you think that is bad? That should not happen. Those names should not be listed publicly.
That's fine.
You think that's a good thing that if a PAC pays someone, those transactions are made public and you can see as like a civilian what's going on with, PACs and political money and dark money potentially and stuff like that, whatever.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay.
When you buy a house, it's fucking.
So you don't think it's bad that Wick was doxxed?
Do you see what you're doing there?
You might have to help me out. You might have to inform me.
You're trying to smuggle something in. Like, am I upset that Wick was doxxed? Why was he doxxed? He wasn't
because he was paid for. He was paid from.
So that dox existed before everyone knew about it, right? It just lived in a database somewhere that no one knew existed. Was he doxxed then?
Okay, hold on. I need to turn TTS off. This fucking
when
suffering from success.
Okay, here, let me ask you this question. When you had the guy, or when PV submitted that document to the FCC, and it's in the public record for the first time, was Wick doxxed? Was he doxxed at that moment?
Are you asking me if someone had already doxed him prior to that, or if this was the first instance of his information being out there?
The PV document that has all the information on it, that has everyone's name and info on it, that gets uploaded to the database online, and it's online for the first time. It's in the public record, right? Because that stuff all PAC money is public record. So like that day, January 1st, when that document, that PDF hits the internet, and it's publicly accessible for the first time, was he doxxed that day?
Okay, I'm going to give you a bit of a long, complicated answer. Is that okay?
If a tree falls in a forest and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. That's my question.
I have an answer for this, but it's going to take a bit. Is that all right with you?
Can you give me a short answer first before you give me a long one? Can you give me a yes or no?
No, that's not a dox. No, it's not a dox, but I'll explain why it's not a dox. So when I say dox, I'm using that colloquially as just like revealing someone's PII, right? Dox is specifically revealing for the purposes of harassment, which I don't think that the PAC did.
You don't even know. I
100%
agree with you.
So that's the thing. So when I say dox, when I'm talking to you, I'm hoping that you understand what I mean, and that he just revealed PII, which I should probably, for the sake of this conversation, since we're talking about both doxing and non-harassment related revealing of PII, I'll use just revealing PII going forward. But no, he was not doxed by PV with the PAC money fucking document, whatever, because that was not for the purposes of harassment. That was for the purposes of like bookkeeping or whatever.
Found it and spread it to harass him, right?
This gets into a question.
Right?
So this gets into a question of if someone. So is your name public?
No.
Okay, let's say your name is like, you pick a fake name because I don't want to.
Kyle.
Kyle. Okay. Let's say that your name, Kyle, is public somewhere, right? Under the name usurp. Like you've consented to that information being out there. It's like on a website somewhere. Maybe it's not tied to your like YouTube channel, or maybe not even your Twitter, but under the name usurp, it's tied somewhere to you. And then someone finds that name despite you consenting to that information being out there. And then they use that and they start posting it around trying to fuck with you. Despite that information already being public, would you think that that is doxing?
Yes. The guy found information that was just happened to be out there, right? It was just floating in the ether. He found it. He picked it up.
Being out there. That's a clarification.
Go ahead.
You consented to the information being out there. So when you made it,
you consented it, but like you consented, but could you have forgotten? What if you forgot it's out there? What if you consented like 3 years ago?
Is it rape if you forget that you're having sex or something?
No, but I'm saying like, what if it's like out there because of like a fucking comment you made? Like, anyway, I think it was. So from your question, was it bad when Wick got doxxed because he got paid from PV, and you think that I think that people who get paid should have their name put out there, right? So you're asking?
No. Specifically a PAC, because this isn't paid from YouTube or anything like that. This is specifically a PAC.
It is.
This is a standard that has been set, and if you are paid from a PAC, you are like, no matter who you are, if you get paid from a PAC, fucking tomorrow for whatever reason, your shit's gonna be out there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And no, I think it is bad in this situation where that happened to Wick, because whoever doxed Wick did it solely to harass.
Sure. I have not seen the docs specifically, like whatever image it was.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a man picture or what, like what. I don't know.
It could be fucking him in pantyhose. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. The only reason
that wasn't. Sorry, I wasn't trying to be mean to you. I was trying to joke. So the reason that I would not describe that as doxing is I think a core element of doxing is revealing the PII for the first time. So information that is not known, you are then revealing that information, tying it to an online persona, and putting it out to the public for the purposes of harassment. So in the case of Wick, I don't know if I would personally describe the PV thing as a dox per se, because he is consenting to that information being out by being paid from a PAC. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I can see how that would make sense, but I'll just, this will be the last thing, but I'll just leave you with this example. Let's say that it's 10 years from now, and holy shit, I'm a big fucking streamer. Wow, holy shit. I have Usurp LLC as my business, right? Because I set up a business account. Now I buy, my somehow 10 years, my name's still not out there. No one knows who I am. I use my business to buy my house for whatever reason. And now like Usurp LLC is tied to mortgage documents with my name on it. That is now in the public record. In the same way that those PV information was in the public record. Now, let's say somebody finds that information that's already out there. It's been published. I willingly published it technically when I bought my house. If they put that information and made that public, would you consider that doxing or no?
So with address stuff, it's a bit more iffy. So I'll answer this in two parts. One, if it was just hypothetically just your name, no address, nothing else. They could not find your address like easily through it or whatever. It was just your name.
Whatever, it was the same information that was leaked of Wick. I don't know what it is, but if it was the same information, copy for copy.
So as far as I know, it was just name. So no, I would not describe that as doxing, because you yourself are consenting for that information to be out there.
I don't.
In the case of
that part right there, like you yourself consented for that information being out there. When you say that, I get the implication.
It's also okay.
These
aren't
intentionally
really quick
online. When you're buying a house, you're willingly buying a house, but you're not willingly like in the process of buying a house or in the process of getting paid.
So that's what I was just about to bring up. These are not analogous, because one of these, right? Yeah. The purpose of payment through a PAC is to list who you are paying. For like transparency, bookkeeping, stuff like that. That is meant to be made public
for tax reasons.
For tax reasons, there's probably other reasons as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Mr. Politics. Okay,
yeah,
I'll be
it's for tax
totally
reasons, because you're only allowed to donate so much. Like in PACs, have to spend their money a certain amount of way. Like all that, like a PAC, like how they spend
that information
money must be put out there.
I'm also being told it's not for tax reasons. Literally, not at all for tax reasons. So I don't know. I can do more research on this and maybe like come to a better understanding of what PACs are. But regardless, you could say it's for tax reasons, just for the sake of argument. Who cares? But I would say these are not analogous, because the purpose of a PAC is to showcase the information of who is being paid. The purpose of a mortgage is not necessarily for that information to be public, right?
Yeah,
so while I would say
it's
public record. Okay, it's public record. Like, do you have kids or something?
No.
Okay. Hypothetically, you have a wife, right? Let's say that wife has a fucking Facebook account and she posts like a ton of insane PII shit there, right? That's technically public record. But I don't think it would be reasonable for anybody to go to that account and dig all that information up and then use it against you.
Agreed.
Right? So while technically, sure, a mortgage is public record, that all is public, you can go and see that. but is like it reasonable for someone to look at that? Is the purpose for that to be tied to your online fucking characters? The purpose of that to be made public for everybody to see or whatever?
So you think the person publicized that
It's
information?
not public for the purposes of transparency. It's
So you
public
think
for the
somebody
purposes of
posted
like
that information just for transparency reasons when it came to Wick?
pack shit.
Yeah.
I think there's a variety of reasons.
But you
I
don't
don't know if
honestly,
there's
you
like
don't honestly
one.
think that someone posted that just because, like, hey, I'm in favor of transparency and this is why I'm doing this. I'm transparency Batman.
The pack shit?
Yeah.
They,
when
well,
they
first
doxed
off, they
Wick,
were
they
legally
probably-
obligated to.
No, I'm saying when the person found that pack information and said, hey, I found Wick's info. Here it is.
I see what you're trying to say. So again, this gets into again the question of if you consent to information being out there, is it still doxing? Which I would say no, because I think a core factor in doxing is revealing the PII.
Ooh,
if you
one more- I'll
consent
leave
for
it with
PII
this.
to be out there.
Do you think that what if Wick
Sorry, go
didn't
ahead.
know that that would be public information?
I think that
What-
possibly changes it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because like I can imagine signing up for it and be like, fuck yeah, you want to pay me? Like, let's go. And then finding out it's like public later and being like, oh, okay, it makes sense that it's public, but fuck, I wish I would have known. And like, I wonder if that
Sure.
changes anything. But again, all this stuff is so fucking
has-
nebulous. And it's
What does
it's-
nebulous mean? What's that
it's-
word
It's
mean?
not like it's not rigid. It's like it changes. It's flowing. It's moving. There's no constant barriers or rules that people.
Sorry, I
abide
grew up
by.
in the sticks. I'm like retarded. I have a very limited vocabulary.
No, it's all good, man. But I'm gonna have to cut it off for tonight.
Oh, you're good. I'll let you go.
Usurp the friend, Dan friend. You probably shouldn't threaten to dox and usurp chat. Friend. Wait, it's great. Soften, FC5. No, don't. You guys are fucking crazy. All right, Meow. I appreciate you talking. I'll be live again tomorrow if you want to talk. Hopefully, if my life is normal. Anything else?
You might have to send me a message if you want me to chat, but
Yeah.
sure.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying it to you and to everybody else. But I appreciate you hopping on for the chat, and hopefully we'll talk more in the future. Ready?
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace out, brother. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Everybody just take a breath in. It's going to be okay. Just want to thank you all very much for stopping by. I had a lot of fun with you all tonight. Whoever's fucking doxing people in my chat, don't do that. That's fucking weird. I'm going to go through it all. Make sure I yell at everyone who's responsible. Tin 1602, Moon, Owlessness, All Hairs, Desert Something, Name. Oh my gosh. Thank you all very much. Missy, I know some of you are snarkers. Fuck some of you, I am sure. Alice, you were just on with Aiden's defending food shops. I definitely didn't work for Stardust. You can't even lie well. Well, I hope to talk to all of you in the future. You all seem like very wonderful people. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I hope to talk to some of you motherfuckers later. Yeah. Be safe out there. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great rest of your night and hope you have a good tomorrow. See you later.